Hey, what's going on, guys? RonMan coming back at you yet again, and we're almost at the end of the year 2021, and really I just want to take a look back on this year and talk about it. Really, that's it. Was it better than 2020? Okay, so what I want to do in this video is I just really want to talk about 2021. How was it in comparison to 2020? What are some games that I played and beat? And I just want to do some shoutouts at the end. So without any further poo-poo, let's get into it. Alright, so the year as a whole, 2021. Was 2021 better than 2020? I know at the end of last year, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think 2021 is going to be better. Nope, it was just as shitty as 2020. At least for me here. I live in Canada. I'm in Ontario. And no, it was probably just about as shitty as 2020. Last year on Boxing Day, we got to go into another beautiful lockdown. So yeah, we got Christmas with our families, and then boom, they shut us right down on Boxing Day. And they had us shut down for, I want to say like 2 months. If you live here in Canada, in Ontario, you might be thinking, no, it wasn't that. I can't remember exactly, but I know it was at least a month, probably 2. And they kept us locked down, and it was, like, I'm pretty introverted, so I think it affects other people more, but, like, I still like to go shopping and stuff. Like, I still like to buy video games. I still like to, you know, go out and do stuff, eat food. I really like to eat, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, it was a lockdown. It was annoying. And then we opened back up, and then things were going okay. And then right at the beginning of April, they called for a province-wide shutdown. All right, because I think that they were saying that, like, you know, only parts of my province would be shut down. And so, like, people who were in lockdown areas would travel to places that weren't locked down, and then would transmit this virus. I don't know. That was what they said. So they shut down the whole province, and they shut it down for, like, I want to say it was like 3 months that everything was shut down. Like they even made it where you couldn't buy, like, non-essentials at Walmart. It's like Walmart was open, but you couldn't buy non-essentials. So there, like, all, like, the electronics department was, like, completely blocked off. Like, you couldn't even get in there to buy a movie. There'd be a movie just sitting there. You're like, I just want that, or a game, or whatever it is. Nope, you weren't allowed to buy it. So that was, yeah, that was really annoying. And then after that, I want to say that was like 3 months. It was like 3 months of that, I think. And then we kind of started coming out of it, and then they did like a plan where they would do like a 3-step plan where they would, like, slowly open things up more and more, and we got to step 3. They're like, okay, the next step is, like, fully open, no masks, no nothing. And then just that never happened. We never heard about it again. It was like that time you give a girl your phone number and then you just never hear from her. It was kind of like you were expecting, like, the text or whatever. Nothing. So that was annoying. We also got the vaccines this year. So I do have the vaccine. I'm not against the vaccine by any means, but yeah, it's just turning into, like, you basically have to have the vaccine now. And I don't really want to get into that, but yeah, so the vaccine came out this year, and I got my first dose in, like, March, and I got my second in, I want to say, what was it, June? Yeah, I want to say June. But, like, even the CDC was like, hey, like, 2 weeks after, like, your vaccine, you go back to living normal, and I was like, yes! Except, no, we weren't allowed to. We had to keep wearing masks. And we had to keep hiding from everybody. So that was kind of annoying. Yeah, that was stupid. But yeah, 2021, I don't know. And the rest of the year was, like, kind of okay-ish. And right now, everything's really bad. You know, just with, like, we just went into another restriction here in Canada. So it's not lockdown, but it's, like, 50% capacity everywhere. Because I think we were, like, back open to, like, 100% capacity. We still had to wear masks and stuff, but now it's, like, down to 50%. So yeah, it's just really annoying. Like, I think the thing that bugs me is that is there gonna be an end to this? I don't know. Like, I mean, there has to be. There's got to be an end somewhere. But I think some of us were kind of hoping that the end would be, like, earlier in 2021, and it's there doesn't seem to be any end in sight, at least from where I live. So that was my year as far as the pandemic's concerned. In terms of other things, I don't know, work's been good, home life has been fine, everything for me has been fine. And of course I played video games, as you can tell because you watch the channel and you see the reviews coming out. So that was my year. But now we'll get into the games that I beat this year. So for the games that I've beaten this year, it's not necessarily that I beat them for the first time this year, it's just that I beat them, so I record them on my list. I may have beaten them before. And I'm going to start with new games. I didn't play very many new games, and new games are just games that aren't retro. So here we go. I beat Metroid Dread. I picked that up on day one, played it, beat it, thought it was really good, lots of fun. I went back and played Zelda Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U. I'm gonna be honest, that's one of my least enjoyed Zelda games. I really do not enjoy that game. I went back to it. I haven't actually played it since the Wii, and that was like 2007, so it had been a long time. But I remember not loving Twilight Princess even back when it had come out, but you know, sometimes when enough time has gone by, things change. Nope, I like the game just as little as I ever did. In fact, I think I like it less than I did. I'm really sorry to all the Twilight Princess fans. I'm not trying to offend you. It's just a game that I happen to not like. I did go and play Zelda Skyward Sword HD. I got that for my birthday. Girlfriend got me that. I didn't like that game either. I originally... let me clarify what I mean. Originally, when I played it for the Wii, I didn't like it. I played it and beat it within about a week, and that was it. That was like 2011. I talked a little bit about this in my Skyward Sword impressions video. Now that I beat not Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. Sorry. This is unscripted, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. I go back and I beat Skyward Sword for the Switch. I do like that game. I do say I like it. Still not one of my favorites at all. And I'm not dying to replay it by any means, but I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. There were some things about it I didn't like. If you're interested in hearing more about my thoughts, just check out that video. So I played that. I played Resident Evil Village for the PlayStation 4. I thought it was really well done. I actually beat it 3 times because you can just keep doing like a new game plus, and you can carry over all the weapons and all your items that you had. So I played that. And I actually finally got around to beating the story mode for Splatoon 2. I played a lot of Splatoon 2 earlier this year. Never did beat the story mode, finally beat the story mode. And so those are all the new games that I beat. There's just one last game I do want to mention. I was playing Mario 3D World. I didn't beat it. I got it for the Switch with the Bowser's Fury. I played it on the Wii U originally. I actually don't love that game at all, but I bought it for the Switch. I played it a little bit, and then because I just don't care for it, it was just easy for me to just never turn it back on, so I did that. So as far as new games, that's it. Those are the only new games that I played this year. I think 2021 is the year where I played the least new games. Like, I played quite a few new games last year, and really every year I've played quite a few newer, more modern games. This year was probably the least I've played new games. So yeah, I'm just kind of slowly turning into almost primarily a retro gamer. I'll always play Nintendo stuff. I'll always get Nintendo's latest consoles and stuff, but like, I actually just sold my Xbox One. I never played the thing. I used it strictly as a Blu-ray player, and I found it to be a pretty shitty Blu-ray player, so I just sold it. Anyway, moving on to the retro games that I played this year, and there are quite a lot of them. First, I'll start with the RPGs that I played. First one is Shining in the Darkness. I started playing that last year, actually, but it wasn't until January of this year that I actually beat it. Shining in the Darkness for Sega Genesis. That was a great game. It's the first-person dungeon crawler. It was really, it's nice and smooth. There are some dungeon crawlers for the Super Nintendo that are, not that they're bad, but they're kind of slower. They're a little more clunky. Moving around is just harder. Shining in the Darkness is really fast. It's really easy to move around. If you like the first-person dungeon crawler genre, Shining in the Darkness is a game you have to play. I beat Shadowrun for Super Nintendo. I love that game. It's one of my all-time favorite RPGs ever. It's just so good. I beat Illusion of Gaia. Again, one of my all-time favorite RPGs. I also beat Chrono Trigger. Again, it's one of the best games ever made. I also beat Terranigma fantastic game. I beat Front Mission Gun Hazard. It's a Japanese only game. I have a reproduction cart with an English patch, so I beat that for the first time. It was lots of fun, really cool game. Breath of Fire for Super Nintendo, fantastic game, beat that for the first time. And the last RPG is Final Fantasy IV Ultima. Now, Final Fantasy IV Ultima, it's a ROM hack of Final Fantasy IV, but it's really more like a deluxe version of Final Fantasy IV. So all the abilities that all the characters are supposed to have, like Cecil's supposed to have like a dark ability, Yang is supposed to have like a focus. There's a whole bunch of different abilities, so they have all those, but there's tons of new bosses, new dungeons, new weapons and armor. The translation's been cleaned up, so it really does just feel like a deluxe version of Final Fantasy IV. But of course I have a reproduction card of Final Fantasy IV Ultima, so I was actually able to play it on my Super Nintendo. Lots of fun. There's even a New Game Plus mode in it, so if you like Final Fantasy IV, I would recommend Final Fantasy IV Ultima. Okay, so moving into the non-RPG games that I beat this year, I've categorized them into console, so we'll start with the NES. I beat Mega Man 5, DuckTales, DuckTales 2, Zelda, like the first Zelda for NES, Demon's Sword, Batman Return of the Joker, Uninvited, The Little Mermaid, Star Tropics, and actually Star Tropics is the last one, so that's everything I beat for the NES this year. Moving on to the Super Nintendo, Mega Man X, Mega Man X2. I actually didn't beat Mega Man X3 this year, which is a little bit weird because Mega Man X3 is actually my favorite Mega Man game ever, so it's weird that I didn't play it. Battletoads Double Dragon, Donkey Kong Country, Country 2, Country 3, Dino City, Super Mario World, Hook, Super Valis 4, The Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, TMNT 4, Turtles in Time, Marvelous, another Treasure Island. That was actually a really good game. I have a reproduction card of it. Gunpowder Gunman's Proof, also really good game. I have a reproduction card of that as well. Aladdin, Beethoven, and Mickey's Ultimate Challenge. Moving on to the Sega Genesis, I beat the original Mortal Kombat. Streets of Rage, that was actually the first time I ever beat the first Streets of Rage, surprisingly. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which by the way, do you guys think Mario World is better than Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Let me know in the comments. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and K, and TMNT the Hyperstone Heist. And the last console we'll actually just call miscellaneous because there's a few different games here, but there are not many. Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. It was really nice to play those games again. I haven't played those since I was like 14, but I played them on my GameCube on the GameCube player, so that was fun. Here's a weird one, Mortal Kombat 2 on the Master System. I'm actually working on a video all about Mortal Kombat on the Master System because it's interesting. And lastly, Nightmare Creatures for the Nintendo 64. So those are all the games that I beat in 2021. Lots of fun. I love video games. Do you guys ever play video games? And lastly, I would like to give some shout outs to other channels that are absolutely fantastic that you should watch. Not only do these guys have great content, but they're great people, and I know this because we've been communicating, we're somewhat friends now, and I just want to say thank you and check these guys out. Real quickly, let's go through it. NES Addict, Retro Reminiscence, Back in the Day Gamer, Playa's Guide, World of Nintendo, The Poor Man's Retro Game Room, Infinite Combo Reviews, Retro Drew, Glitch Hunter Gamer, D-Pad Danny, Good Vibe Collecting, and Big Old Words. These guys are fantastic. Definitely check their channel out. I watch their stuff all the time. Really, my days off wouldn't be the same without these guys, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for watching my stupid ass. I don't even know what I'm doing up here. I just pulled this channel out of my fucking dirty, smelly asshole, and I just whip shit together, and you guys are watching, so I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So anyway, that was my 2021. I know I said this last year, but I really hope that next year will be better. Kind of don't think so. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. And have a happy new year. Thinking about how I should end this. Oh, I know. And just remember, just because I'm RonMan Gaming doesn't mean that you can't be RonMan Gaming either. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, hold on. Okay. Keep on reminiscing, baby! Still there. Okay. I guess I'll just show you things that are on my desk since you aren't fucking leaving. Got this mug here. The Shining. It's my favorite movie, by the way. Put some coffee in that soon and drink it Ooh, I have a coaster. It's kind of fun. I have an amiibo over here. This isn't on my desk, but there's an amiibo. I guess there's really nothing else to show you. Maybe once we get to 1,000 subs, I'll do like a game room tour or something. Here's my knife for opening shit. You guys have seen this before. It's camouflage. Maybe it's so you can hide it from people, I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'll see you in the next video.